Hello everyone, this is Agent Ross and welcome back to the channel. Before we write any new code, I want to slow things down and reset our thinking. Up until now, we have only created data. Nothing moves, nothing updates, that's intentional. In ECS, data does nothing by itself. Behavior only comes from systems. Today is the day where everything finally starts to make sense. If at any point this feels confusing, pause the video. ECS clicks suddenly, not gradually. First of all, let me explain what a system really is. A system is just code that runs every frame. It looks for entities with specific components and updates their data. Important rule: systems never create entities, never store entities, and never own data. They only operate on data. Think of a washing machine. The clothes are components. The washing machine is the system. It doesn't own the clothes. It just processes them. Now let's create a base system class. We are going to create a new system file. We are going to create a new file under system folder. And we are going to name this file system.js. Inside this file, we are going to type export class system. And inside here, we are going to update world and delta time. This might look useless right now, and that's okay. The idea is that every system will have an update function. The world and delta time are passed in. Before we make anything move, we need to talk about something very important called delta time. Don't worry if you have never heard this term before. Most beginners haven't, and that's completely okay. Delta time simply means how much time passed since the last frame. Games don't update once per second. They update many times per second. But that number is not always the same. Some computers are fast, some are slow. Some people have 144 Hz monitors, others have 60 Hz. If we move an object by a fixed time every frame, then the game will run faster or slower depending on the computer, and that's bad. Delta time fixes this. Instead of saying move 1 unit per frame, we say move 1 unit per second. Delta time tells us how much of that second has passed since the last frame. So from now on, every movement calculation in our game will always be multiplied by delta time. This guarantees consistent behavior across all machines. Now that we understand delta time, we can finally create our first real system. This system will be responsible for movement. Remember the ECS rule. System do behavior, components store data. Our movement system will not know anything about meshes, rendering, or input. It will only care about numbers. Now let's go ahead and create another file under system. We are going to call this file movementsystem.js. Inside this file, let's go ahead and import system, and that's from .ecs system.js. Next, we are going to import query, and we will also import transform. By the way, I noticed I created the system file under here. Let's go ahead and move this one under ECS folder. Okay, let's go ahead and save this for now. The next, we are going to import velocity, and that's from components velocity. Right under, we are gonna type export class movement system, and it's going to extend system. And inside here, we're gonna say update world and delta time. And the next, constant entities, and we are gonna query entities with, and we are gonna pass world, transform, and velocity. And next, we are gonna create a loop for constant entity tt of entities. And inside this loop, we're gonna say constant transform equals world dot get component, and we will pass entity and transform. And same thing we're gonna do for velocity. We're gonna say constant velocity equals world get component, and we will pass entity and velocity with capital. And the next, we're gonna say transform dot x plus equals velocity dot x times delta time. And same thing we're gonna do for y plus equals velocity dot y times delta time. And finally, transform dot z plus equals velocity dot z times delta time. All right, now let's go ahead and save this. Now let me explain what it does. So we start by importing the base system class so we can extend it. Then we import query because we need a clean way to find entities. We ask the query for all entities that have both transform and a velocity. That means this system automatically ignores everything else. And inside the loop, we read the transform and velocity components. Then we update the position by multiplying velocity by delta time. This is the most important line in the entire system. Next, we are going to build the game loop. Systems don't run by themselves. We need a loop that runs every frame and calls them. This is called the game loop. Now let's go to main.js file. Inside here, we are going to import world.js. Let's do that. And right under here, we're also going to import movement system. Systems movement system.js. That's correct. Now let's make this a bit readable. So let's go ahead and add some comments here. So let's say this one, canvas, and we can actually do like this to make it look more pretty. And in here, let's say 3.js. And right under here, let's say ECS. And inside here, we can say constant world, new world. Next, let's go ahead and add constant movement system for now. In the next episode, when we actually add the system, we're going to change this to world.addSystem. But for now, let's create constant movement system. And let's say this new movement system. And next, we need to add the game loop. Right now, we have this function called animate. Let's change the name of this function to game loop. And let's change this to game loop as well. And also, let's make a comment here as well. And right under here, let's say let last equals performance.now. And inside the game loop, we are going to add constant now equals performance.now. And we are going to say constant delta time equals now minus last. And let's call this one last time. And last time. And we're going to divide that by 1000. And then we are going to say last time equals now. And finally, we are going to say movement system dot update. And we're going to pass the world and delta time. And the next, we are just going to remove this one. In the next episode, we are going to create a renderer system. And then we're going to pass that during that time. So for now, let's comment this out. As you can see, once I comment it out, there's nothing prints out. All right, let me explain what we are doing here. We store the time of the previous frame. Each frame, we calculate how much time has passed, and then we divide by 1000 because JavaScript gives us milliseconds, but we want seconds. Then we call update on our movement system and pass in the world and delta time. Finally, we schedule the next frame using request animation frame. Now let's finally create a player entity, but not inside main.js. We use our factory. This keeps our code clean and scalable. Let's scroll up, and right under here, we are going to import create player from game player factory. And then let's scroll down. Right under here, we can say create player, and we will pass the world and the scene. And if we save the file, you can see a box. So main.js doesn't care how the player is built. It only cares that the player exists. This is exactly what good architecture looks like. Let's say this one more time because this is the heart of ECS. Entities are just IDs, components are pure data, systems are logic, the world stores everything, and queries find what system needs. This is why ECS scales so well. Nothing is hard-coded and nothing is tightly coupled. In the next episode, we will build a render system. That's where ECS data finally become visuals in Three.js. If this was helpful, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. I'm Agent Russ. See you next time.